Hello, my name is Dakota Pariset. I'm the artistic director of the Lightbulb Factory, and we're coming back here with another. I don't know what we call these videos. Profiles, introductions to our upcoming project, which I'm not going to say yet. I'm going to leave it to the two lovely humans who are joining me in this meeting to get to the bottom of that. But it's been a minute since Lightbulb Factory's made one of these videos. Like the last time we did it, Rashaad, you were there for kind of talking with directors about the process of the process way back in March, I think. Since then, we've been kind of just relaxing a little bit, figuring some stuff out. We recently just did something for Mental Health Awareness Month in May with what we called Spring Singles 2023, which was 3 poems by Mary Oliver, kind of celebrating life and overcoming our mental challenges. And from there, we kind of all have been hanging out, having our meetings, figuring out kind of what our 2023-2024 season is going to look like. Before we get into all of that, I would really like to share a little bit of time with Rashaad and Moni to let you guys kind of introduce yourselves before we get into what we're about to talk about. So Rashaad, since you've done this before, if you want to go ahead and do a little introduction, your name, pronouns if you feel inclined. I know it's showing up here in the video. And just talk a little bit about what you got going on.
Cool, I will. So I'm Rashaad A. Bond. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I'm a Chicago-based director, actor, and producer. Originally, I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but I moved here 2019, right before the pandemic. But we're still striving and we're still surviving. I have a couple of a radio play with Eclectic that I'm doing. Their half-hour radio series, which is going to be a lot of fun, directed by Joel Willison, who is a brilliant mind. And then I think I have the pleasure of directing one myself later on in, I think, October. Outside of that, I think I'm doing a couple staged readings and, just auditioning for things like everyone else.
Nice. Awesome. I love that you're calling yourself an actor now.
Yeah, that was part of my New Year's resolution. I am an actor and a director, and I would love to be a lighting designer and carpenter. So if you're hiring for any of those positions, like hit me up.
You heard it here first. He is open for business.
I am. I'm available.
And now we have a really actually distinct and wonderful opportunity and honor to share in allowing the next person who's about to speak share a little bit about themselves. But our newest ensemble member, who's actually been an ensemble member since January, but we've been really just
of last year.
Busy sounds like an excuse, but this feels like a
I was like, why does it feel like longer?
Right?
May have been longer. The point is, Moni, you are our newest ensemble member of the Lightbulb Factory. So I would love nothing more than giving you the opportunity to take the floor and share a little bit about, well, your name, your pronouns if you feel inclined, and a little bit about your journey. Tell us about like what you do, what you got cooking. What brought you to Chicago, and how did you find the Lightbulb Factory?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, my name is Moni Villalba. Pronouns are they, them. Oh goodness.
You got it, Monica. You got it.
I got everything. I'm an actor and a director, and I work in theater, obviously. I also am an artist, so I do paintings and things like that. Yeah, I just moved to Chicago a year and a half ago. I made the really intelligent decision to move in January. I don't know.
Oh, it's cold because it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold. There's so much snow. I
I
came from the desert.
The 505, another one. The Kenyos are out here, let me tell you.
But yeah, I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, and then I was raised in New Mexico, Roswell, and Albuquerque, and then I moved here. So I really went desert, snow. Here we go. Yeah. As for the Lightbulb Factory, I actually got into it because of Rashaad, because we went to college together, and I moved here, and he literally was like, "Do you want to be part of the show?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then that's how I met Dakota, that's how I met Julia, the other ensemble members, and I don't know, we just really all connected. You're my friends and ensemble members, so it's been lovely. And then being invited to join has been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
And you've like got kind of thrown into the fire, because I think the way I remember happening was you came in January of last year as a non-ensemble member, but as like a very integral part of our first short circuit, where there were a cast of 5, and of the 5, you were in 2 shows,
Yeah.
and also directing one of the shows at the same time. So I think that was in March that happened. So you literally moved here for the snow, and then right into just the work, which I'm sure must have been both exciting and also
Terrifying? Yes.
terrifying.
It was lovely.
Well, we are super excited to. I think technically you've been ensemble since, I want to say it was like December or some kind of party. I remember I took you into Julie K's kitchen. I was like, Moni,
Yeah, it was so secret. It was so scary.
you like to be an ensemble member.
No, it was January, because I think it was January. Anyways, December, January, less than a year.
Beautiful. And here we find ourselves today. Both of you are now co-producing what is sort of the unofficial launch or beginning of our 2023-2024 season. So I don't know who wants to name it, but what is the name of the project and how did it come about?
I'll start us off with a little backstory, and then Monica can give we're going to hold off on giving the name as long as we can. So I'll give a little backstory, and then Monica can announce the name, and like, because she was the one who had like the inspiration and like the like concept for it. So a little bit about me. As a director and producer, specifically, my goal is to always create diverse pieces of theater. I think theater strives and is at its best when a group of diverse people are in a room working together to create something. So I always strive to like intentionally include queer and BIPOC people in any production and things that I'm working on. And that's something I take pride in. And so we were having a meeting planning out this season, and I wanted to, like, we were just chatting about things we could do. And like, because I grew up in New Mexico, and like, I'm very in touch with like Latinx culture, I think I just made a joke and be like, we should just do a single in Spanish. And then from there, Monica kind of just like went off on like, just dove off on the idea. And so Monica, if you want to explain your concept in the show.
Yeah, so we said, yeah, we were like Spanish, and then we're like, oh, da, 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 da. We just started, kind of going off. I was super excited about it. So then I kind of went from that, and I just thought about it, and I was like, okay, like if we did something in Spanish, because I was like, if we do something, whether it be Spanish or not, I started thinking about the theme of like, okay, what would the theme be? And then I kind of started thinking about the singles that you did, Dakota, and of how it was circled around mental health awareness. And I was like, okay, well, cool, now we're going into summer. And I just started thinking about like summer. I was like, cool, like what comes afterwards? And then I just kept thinking of like, oh, like the phrase like darkest before the dawn. It's like, oh, the dark from, struggling with any type of mental health to then what comes afterward, which is the dawn. I could be like, okay, summer, like summer. And I was like, well, what does that mean? What does the dawn mean? What is it to go from that to then like being alive? And then I was like, oh my God, being alive, the joy, the afterwards. And it's not necessarily of like, oh, you're fine, you're alive, great. It's like, what does that even mean? Of like, what is, I don't know, it's just that phrase, it's darkest before the dawn, just kept coming into my head. And I was like, cool, yeah, like that's such a phrase that people go through, but then what comes afterwards? And so then I guess I can say it now. So
the suspense.
So yeah, and then I kept being like verano. And I was like, alive, vivo en verano.
So that's it. That's our theme.
Alive in summer. We love a good
And
little.
I mean, there's no place like summer in Chicago,
Yeah. Because like, yeah, especially high snow, you're stuck inside. And then I don't know, just kind of see everything like bustling, and people actually wanted to be outside, and like I actually make plans with friends. I actually want to go do stuff, which usually, I'm gonna be real, I don't like the summer. My birthday's in summer. I don't like the summer because it's too hot, but I guess I appreciate. I know I'm a hater, I'm sorry, but I appreciate now going from like an actual winter where you're like, I don't even want to step outside, don't even talk to me, to oh yeah. I guess I could go out. I could go get coffee.
That's fair. Where we're from, like the difference between summer and winter in Albuquerque is like 50-degree days and bright as heck in the middle of December, versus Albuquerque summers are like 95, 105 days, dry heat. And I live for that. That's where I thrive, in that 92 to 107 temperature range. That's where I live my best life. But I know it's not for everyone. I know it's not for all people.
Wham bam, no ma'am. No ma'am.
I guess what my question then is what is something that you look forward to in the summer, especially maybe if you do go back home, or if you have plans to go back home, or even just being in Chicago for a year, a year plus, like what are things that you've found that invigorate you in the season?
For me, it's hi, I'm a nature person. I've been trying to, I live by the lake really close now, so I always like try to go every weekend and just like have time to myself, or like I just like also like being with friends. I'm also going to Mexico to go see my family in July, which I'm really, really excited about. But yeah, no, it's been, this season, summer, she cool now. She cool.
Cool now.
And I think for me, Monica brought it up when they were like, people want to go outside and like do things. And for me, it's the people. I am an extrovert, I think. I'm almost certain, because like I enjoy being around people and like experiencing things with people. And like in New Mexico, that just happened all the time, because like I said, it only gets like 50. I think it snowed like 3 times in the 11 years that I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So people were always willing to go out, like on a chilly December day, people were willing to go out. Whereas here in Chicago, ain't nobody going out when it's snow outside. It's like negative 10 degrees. Like nobody wants to deal with that. So people are kind of tucked away in their homes and kind of just isolated. But I love that feeling of like experiencing things with people and like being in moments with people, having fun with people, just enjoying life with people, living with people in the summer.
I really like negative 10 snowy weather and being out there. It's not true. No, that's lovely. And I think especially now, right, as things have finally gotten back to a pace of I don't know what the word is, forward movement. It feels like, especially now, even though there's so much happening, there really is a lot of life. And we're all kind of, I think, starting to catch that stride again. But I love that, and I love how it's very focused in continuing to create diversity and opportunity, and also diversifying and creating opportunities in a new and distinct way that we've never done it before. You guys are utilizing material and also utilizing it in an interesting and different way. I don't know if we've talked about it, but how are you guys approaching the text and the work for this upcoming project? That's different than anything we've done before.
Can I do this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think the way we're approaching it is something I'm very excited with, and something I hope we go explore in multiple facets. Is the entire production is in Spanish. We are using a full Latinx ensemble. Our directors and actors are both Latinx Spanish speakers. And I know there are great theater companies in this city, urban theater. I'm not gonna say their name because I'm gonna butcher it, but Audubon Theater, I think, that definitely do this kind of stuff before us. So we're not innovators in this field, but I do like the idea that like a theater on the north side who wouldn't necessarily consider their main demographic to be Latinx people are approaching this work of like, it's in Spanish because theater is not European centric and it does not have to be in English for us to enjoy and partake in it. So we're going to have the entire monologue series translated, but it will be in Spanish, and it will be a way to explore art in a medium that I would assume a lot of the people who have come to our productions and have seen our things might not have gotten a chance to see before. And I hope we move forward with that and doing it in Spanish again and doing it in other languages as well.
Yeah. And what are kind of some of the particular works or particular mediums that you guys are also utilizing to translate from?
We're definitely looking at so it's like monologues, and we've also been looking at like works of poetry and things like that. Some that are originally in Spanish, some that are not, that are going to be translated. Shout out to my beautiful mother, Moni Villalba, for helping me translate, because it's to her. But yeah, it's also like I want to try to like focus more on things that are originally Spanish, just because like, yeah, like I don't know, things get lost in translation, which is a huge big thing of like things being translated. It's just kind of exploring that. I've definitely looked at Octavio Paz. His work is beautiful. Yeah, like you recommended him to me to look at, and I was like, oh my god, because that was an artist that was a poet that I wasn't familiar with, and then I was like, oh my god, because yeah, like I've lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It will come back. But how, with all this in mind, how are you guys, what can we expect coming into July? What's kind of the rollout process going to look like?
I don't have the dates in my mind right now, but I believe it's the second weekend of July is when we will be releasing content, and it'll be a single piece each week till the end of July. Specific dates will be coming to our Instagram soon. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think that's
it's a late
effectively how the
July.
process of how that'll go down.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, with that in mind, are there any other kind of thoughts you guys wanted to share before we kind of come to a close here? We finally named the project Vivo en Verano. Kind of what kind of material and work people can anticipate it's going to be coming and when it's going to be coming. I guess, yeah. What is the thing that makes you alive in this moment? I guess.
I guess so I kind of last thoughts, deep dives. This project really made me really think deeply about what being alive means, because there's also a huge difference of being alive versus surviving, which like I came to realize with this production. I was like, damn, I've been surviving for a really long time. And I'm like, okay, what does being alive even mean? And I think, at least from now, what I've come to kind of realize is being alive is just those little tiny moments of finding something that gives you like relief and like joy and like kind of grounds you, of whether it's literally me just walking home and seeing like a butterfly on a flower and then I'm like, oh, that's beautiful, or like I don't know, just like looking out the bus and seeing like a little kid laughing on the swings with their parents, or just like little things of people around you and like the world around you, and not to be so focused, because I get so trapped of being like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta pay this, and then like just to be like, oh, let me have a moment. Let me have a moment right now to just breathe into this. But yeah.
This idea that I love that. This idea that we always think life is a series of big moments, but really, when you think about it, it's those little things make you appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I guess for me, I really like the idea of like the darkest before the dawn kind of thing. And then, because I feel like everyone has felt that darkest moment.
Mm-hmm.
We often don't think about like the dawn that comes after it, right? Like sometimes it's easy to get caught up in that darkness area, but there will be like light after it, and that living after it is important. And I've been very interested in that moment.
Yes. Oh, this is fantastic. So what's the name of the project again?
It's Vivo en Verano.
And what does it mean?
Alive in summer.
And we're all truly living. Oh, I want to thank you both. I have to sign off somehow. My sign off's always missed the mark. But I want to thank both of you. We're filming this on a slightly muggy Thursday night, so thanks for both of you for making time to share a little bit about your lives and about the Lightbulb Factory's life in July, and just so many wonderful and things to look forward to. So thank you, Rashaad, and thank you, Moni. Thank you to the people who are watching this, and keep your eyes peeled. Second week of July, more dates to come. You on Verano.